What's up, folks? Hope you're all well. Apologies again. I have to keep stating this until I actually get this fixed, but my audio sucks so much balls right now, okay? The room is so echoey. My microphone settings are all over the place. I need to replace my mixer. It's fucked. So bear with, okay? Apologies about that, but all that matters is that you guys can hear the music that we're going to listen to today and that you can somewhat hear me, okay? I know it's bad, but it's not that bad. So everyone chill out. All right, but I need to get it out there before people come for me in the comments and be like, bro, he's criticizing music and he can't even get his fucking microphone settings fixed. Shut up. All right, I know. Anyways, Prince of Failure, Jaded Mantra. Now, if you guys are not familiar with Prince of Failure, this is Dan Tompkins of TesseracT's side project that he is doing with Chimp Spanner. Now, Chimp Spanner is not a project that I'm familiar with, but it's worth noting that that is who he's doing this with. And I've already listened to the debut single, which was, let me remember the name. Hold on a minute. Was it Horizon? I want to say, was it Horizon? It was Horizon, yes. And that was featuring Christine Hope of Daedric. And I really, really enjoyed that song. Now, this one is the second single. And I'm curious to see what this sounds like overall. Because again, we've heard one small snippet that had a feature on it. And it was the big grandioso reveal. So let's see what the second single sounds like. Is it going to be much the same or is it going to be a completely different thing? I've high hopes. Dan's one of the best vocalists in the scene with TesseracT's. He's just incredible. Let's go. Another big video as well. I need my fucking glasses. I can't see a thing here. Wait, is that Christine again? It's very bright in here, by the way. I've also got no light. That is Christine. Oh, am I in the right video? She's not credited in this, so I don't know what the fuck. Is it her? It looks like her. Maybe she's just doing a little, it's all like some 3D render. This reminds me of the War of Being video. With that, like, ceiling. It's definitely the same dudes, right? This sounds like it's gonna go a bit fall. That's very Viljarta-esque with those blue guitars. Industrial again. Ooh. So many different techniques already. This is quality stuff. I love hearing the kind of like classical sound that Dan has almost. It's such a unique style in the like modern space. And I love the industrial flair that they seemingly have baked into this project as well. It seems to be the bass line. Almost industrial, operatic, modern metal car crash. As a Tesseract fan, it's just... hearing Dan in this context. Was that Dan? What the fuck? Oh man. The next era of Tesseract's gonna be fun. Because I guess this gives him like a kind of side, like off-season project to practice with, so to speak, but this is still fucking quality. I say practice in a very endearing way. I don't mean like, oh, this is just his practice project. This is still unbelievably cool. And again, as a Tesseract fan, hearing some of those vocals belted out and some of the different techniques, this is what I mean. There's different techniques being used that will be used in Tesseract's. Will we see these down the line in Tesseract's music? It'd be interesting. I fucking love this song as well. I already can't wait to hear this again. And it's not even over. There he is. Okay, I understand that this might look like an overreaction to people who aren't into the Tesseract, but that... Oh my god! What the fuck? Why do I feel like crying? I don't think Dan's ever expressed himself vocally quite like that. Like those like low gutturals. He did mention this to us. I think he mentioned something along those lines where he kind of teased that this would be a thing when we spoke to him on the Metal Roundup podcast when he was talking about this project, Print of Failure. Oh, that last part got me so excited. I need to hear that again. I really want to hear that again, which I will be doing in my own time. Don't get me wrong. Do I do it right now? No, I'll just speak now. I'll speak while I'm full of energy and full of excitement. That was, I think I might like that one more than the first one. And to be honest, I loved the first one. I thought it was really, really cool. But vocally, Dan really, really let rip at the end there. That's so exciting. And I love hearing him in this context. Not to say that Tesseract isn't a modern metal band. I know this like modern metal band terminology gets thrown around a lot. And to be honest, I don't even know what it means. It just, I mean, like technically all bands are modern metal if they're in the modern contexts and landscape. But I think it's more about a sonic approach and like a production thing. I think that's where people are going with the whole modern metal band thing. Because for example, like I don't consider something like Avenged Sevenfold a modern metal band because of the guitar tones. I think for the most part, and maybe the vocal delivery that they use. Metallica are not a modern metal band, even though they create music in the modern landscape. Tesseract are kind of in the middle of that, I think. They're kind of like because they're like a genty progressive band, but then they're also like an alternative metal band as well. They're prog in their own right. They kind of fall into a lot of different categories. I don't know if I put them into the modern metal category like I would with something like fucking Bad Omens, but are Bad Omens even a modern, are they even a metal band? It gets very confusing very quickly, but the point I'm trying to make is that from a tonal standpoint and the overall like guitar layering and stuff, I think this is a little bit different to what Tesseract are doing. Yes, it's using a lot of the like open notes and like rhythmically charged rhythm guitars, rhythmically charged guitar work. I think it's just the overall tones and the like even the dissonant notes that they're using to kind of accent some of those chugs is very like modern sounding, if that makes sense. So it's cool to hear Dan being able to kind of evolve his sound and maybe sneak in some vocal acrobatics and some vocal techniques that maybe just wouldn't really work in the context of a Tesseract record. Now, going forward, it'll be very interesting to see what the next era of Tesseract sounds like, to see if, you know, he evolves on that and actually uses some of the new techniques. Not to say that he's just picked these techniques up, but now it seems like he has a little bit more freedom to go into those techniques. Like the gutturals at the end was just so fucking cool. Like that's, you know, he goes, like we've heard it in Legion, for example, with Tesseract, where he can really, really push himself vocally, and it's in like a very operatic, classically trained vocal like style. But with Tesseract, he doesn't really seem to go on the opposite end of the spectrum, where it's a little bit more raw and like caveman-esque, where he's, you know, less technique. Not to say that there's no technique used in the gutturals and stuff, but you know what I mean? I guess to the naked ear, when you hear him singing in Legion, you're like, oh, that's a fucking fantastically, classically trained vocalist who's at the top of his game. Whereas when you hear someone screaming and go, you're like, oh, this is someone who's practiced this in their bedroom. You know what I mean? So it's kind of cool to hear him in that context, where he is doing the vocals that maybe people would perceive as being the like vocal bedroom thing. I don't know what I'm talking about at this point, but I hope my point is coming across. It's really cool to see Dan in this context. And there's something about his vocal runs in the more like traditionally sounding Tesseract vocals with some of the high falsettos and just the vocal runs that are like very acrobatic. There's something about that is like a warm hug for me. Like Tesseract is literally my number one band. Like I did my Well, I'm burning this apartment down. It's completely haunted. Did I say something that triggered that? Did I say something weird that I need to be careful of? That scared the fucking shit out of me, and now I've completely lost my train of thought. No, I haven't, because I'm a professional. Tesseract are my number one band. Not only from like a philosophical level, but like literally they're my number one band based on my Spotify stats. I put up a post recently where Tesseract are my number one band. And that like hug from Dan, it just, his vocals, just because I got into Polaris, not the band, the album from Tesseract, when I was kind of like starting out my channel, I have such fond memories of his vocal sound. It just kind of like brings me back. It's like a nostalgic hug to me. And then hearing it like evolving and getting better and also adding new techniques to it is just, it warms my heart. So I love that. That's probably even more enjoyable. And it's such a fucking shame to see that it's not getting like crazy amounts of views, because this could be something that Tesseract would release. Obviously it's a little bit different and it would obviously get a lot more. Now don't get me wrong, it's a new project. It's very competitive out there these days. Me and Dan had a quick conversation after the last single where like it is a very competitive market right now and it's hard to get your music out there. But hopefully, you know, even with my videos and stuff, maybe some more people that maybe weren't familiar with the project can see it. And yeah, fucking fantastic. Leave a like in the video if you enjoyed, guys. Go and show Prince of Failure and Dan and Chimp Spanner some love. And yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed that. Leave a like in the video, make sure you're subbed, and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.